With one phone call, I discovered my girlfriend wasn't alone at her apartment. Her whispered apology through the phone ended our 3-year relationship forever. What would you do if a late-night call to your partner revealed they weren't alone? When the sound of another person's voice changes everything you thought you knew about your relationship, the miles between you suddenly feel infinite. One gas station employee's routine check-in becomes a heart-stopping moment of truth when he's forced to ask the question no one wants to answer: choose now, him or me. Before we dive deeper into this heartbreaking confession, I want to welcome you all to X by X Confidential, where we share real stories that touch the soul. I can't thank you enough for watching my videos and supporting this channel. Now let's continue with this devastating late-night confession. I never thought a late-night phone call would change everything between me and my girlfriend of 3 years. Last Tuesday, at exactly 11:42 p.m., while working the graveyard shift at the rundown gas station on Highway 16, I called her from behind the scratched plexiglass counter. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting harsh shadows across the empty store. I was exhausted after 8 hours on my feet, my blue uniform shirt stained with coffee, and my eyes burning from staring at the security monitors. I called her just to hear her voice, to feel less alone in that empty place. The phone rang 4 times before she picked up. The moment she answered, I could hear upbeat music playing in the background, some pop song I didn't recognize, and the clink of glasses, laughter, and people talking. She sounded different, her voice tight and nervous, breathing quickly between words. "Can you talk a little louder?" I asked, pressing the phone hard against my ear. "I can barely hear you over the noise." I paced back and forth across the sticky linoleum floor, my work boots squeaking with each step. She whispered back that she was at her tiny one-bedroom apartment with some friends from her office. But something felt off. I could hear ice cubes tinkling in a glass and a man's deep laugh close to the phone. Too close. My stomach knotted up instantly. "Who's there with you?" I asked, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my fingertips. My free hand gripped the edge of the counter until my knuckles turned white. She paused for exactly 7 seconds. I counted them before answering. "Just some friends from work, that's all." Her voice trembled slightly at the end of her sentence. "I've been with her for 3 years. Shared Sunday morning pancakes at her kitchen table, held her through her father's funeral last spring, and helped her move into that apartment 6 months ago. I know when she's not telling the whole truth. I know the slight quiver in her voice when she's hiding something." I asked her if she could go somewhere quiet so we could talk, maybe her bedroom or the bathroom, but she said she couldn't leave right then. I heard rustling, like she was covering the phone with her hand, muffled whispers. That's when I heard a man's voice, smooth and confident, asking her who she was talking to. Through the phone, I could hear him standing close to her, the subtle creak of her worn leather couch as he sat beside her. Her voice got even quieter, and she said she had to go soon. The smell of stale coffee and gasoline suddenly made me nauseated. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone as sweat dampened my collar. "Do you still love me?" I asked, my voice cracking. "Is that guy holding you the way I do? Is his arm around your shoulders where mine should be?" The silence that followed told me everything I needed to know. I could hear her shallow breathing, the party continuing around her. "We need to decide right now," I said, trying to keep my voice steady while tears blurred my vision. "Should I just hang up and never call again? Or will you tell him he has to leave your apartment?" She couldn't say the words I wanted to hear while she was with him. I could picture her sitting there, maybe wearing the blue sweater I gave her for Christmas, twisting her hair around her finger the way she always did when she was anxious. "Still care about you," I whispered, my voice barely audible over the hum of the refrigerators behind me. "I need to know where I stand, tonight. I'll understand whatever you decide, but I need an answer." 5 long seconds passed before she whispered, "I'm sorry," and the line went dead with a hollow click that echoed in my ear. I stood there in the empty gas station at midnight, staring at my phone's cracked screen showing our smiling faces as my background image, a photo from last summer at the lake. The silence around me was deafening. That's when I realized that sometimes the most important conversations of our lives happen when we're miles apart, with nothing but static and silence to fill the space between heartbeats. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this heartbreaking story. These moments of truth in relationships can be devastating, but they also teach us something about ourselves and what we truly deserve. Have you ever had a moment when your intuition saved you from further heartbreak? Or have you experienced a similar betrayal that changed everything? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else going through something similar right now. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to stay updated when we release our next confession. Until next time, this is X by X Confidential, reminding you that sometimes the hardest truths lead to the greatest healing.